James says, James 5:7-9, be patient therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Like it's coming soon. Just be patient. Hang in there. Acts 2:16. But this is that which was spoken to the prophet Joel, and it shall come to pass in the last days. And Peter thought, well, this is the last days. Now, he was right. He was inspired to read that because God did start pouring out His Spirit on Pentecost. So that was the last days. How long do the last days last? Until they're over. And it's a pretty long time. But he didn't finish the prophecy. He quoted Joel, but he didn't finish all of Joel because it doesn't all fit then. But the portion he quoted, it does fit then. See? You say, well, but didn't they mention the heavenly signs? He said, these people aren't drunk. These are like the people that were prophesied in Joel. They will dream dreams and see visions and all of that. And the sun shall not give its light, and the moon shall be turned to blood. Did that happen on Pentecost? Yes, it did. How so? How did the sun not give its light? And how did the moon, instead of reflecting light, turn to blood? Light is symbolic of God's truth. Jesus Christ is that light. And the most brightest physical symbol of light, brightness, is our sun. So light comes from the strongest source. God. Light, Jesus Christ is that light, John said. John the Baptist, He was that light. But men love darkness. But He was that light. The sun gives light. That's direct revelation from God. Now the moon is the reflected light that should come through the church and through the ministry. They get it from the sun. The moon reflects its light from the sun, right? It doesn't have its own light. If the sun went out, the moon would go out. The moon has no light. It's reflected light. So as the ministry gets light, they give it to the congregation. They feed the sheep. But what did He say would happen starting on Pentecost? The light, the sun isn't going to give its light anymore. God is not going to give direct light to the people anymore. And the light that should be coming, that already was given to the moon to be reflected, it's not going to give its light. It's going to be turned to blood. What is this talking about? Revelation from God was going to cease. Apostasy is going to set in. This church is going to go amok. And instead of teaching the light from God and passing it on, they're going to turn into blood. How so? Well, on that very day, they stoned Stephen. Instead of giving light to the world as a secondary light, they turned to blood. They turned to murderers. Tomorrow, we're going to go through, we're going to see how many men who wanted to present God's Word to people, everyday people like us, they had to pay with their lives. Well, who would do such a dastardly thing? The moon. The secondary light of God's truth. The church. The popes. The bishops. You didn't have to teach or read it. If you were found with a copy of Tyndale's Bible, you were put to death. I mean, it was pretty bad. Tyndale was burned at the stake. Russ was burned at the stake. Different ones were burned at the stake. Lots of people were burned at the stake. They kind of kicked the Catholics out of England for a while, and then Bloody Mary came back and she said, no, bring back the Catholic Church. And she started burning people at the stake. And she said, I'm not doing anything to these people that God isn't going to do to them for all eternity. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She didn't see anything wrong burning people at the stake. Unbelievable. Calvin didn't see anything wrong with burning people at the stake. That man is so adored by so many, considered the greatest, theologian. The scum of the earth, that man. And Martin Luther, although he did, a lot of good things, boy, you read what his attitude was toward the peasants. Kill them all, make it dirty, make it fast. No mercy. So that did start then. Instead of teaching God's truth, they turned their hands to blood, and they killed Stephen. A real saintly man. Killed him. Gnawed upon him with their teeth. I mean, they just despised the man. You don't know what hatred is, Like I've said so many times, hell hath no fury like a Christian who's just been told the truth.